All right, welcome. Today, we're going to explore a path to wellness that completely swaps out the calorie counting and the restriction for something, well, a lot wiser. We're diving into the core ideas of Aloha wellness, which is this really cool mix of Hawaiian tradition and modern science for health that actually lasts.
Does this feel familiar? That constant struggle, you start out so strong, and then a week later, you feel like you've failed all over again. The hunger, the energy crashes, the guilt, it's a whole roller coaster. But what if there was a way to just step off for good?
This slide really just nails the whole mindset shift. Most diets, they treat your health like a war, right? You're fighting cravings, you're trying to force your body into submission. Aloha Wellness just flips that script completely. It asks, hey, what if your cravings are actually messages? What if there's something to listen to, not to fight? It's a huge change in perspective, moving from a battlefield to a sacred garden that you get to take care of.
So how do we actually start walking down this different path? Well, it all begins with a core value that's just central to Hawaiian culture.
This traditional saying, it just beautifully captures the whole philosophy. In Hawaiian culture, the land, which they call the aina, and your body, the kino, they're not separate things. They are deeply connected. You can't have a healthy person on a sick planet, and you can't have a healthy body if you're not treating it with the respect you'd give the land. It's all one.
And that brings us to this powerful idea, malama. Now, this isn't just self-care like, taking a bubble bath. This is active. It's about stewardship. It's this practice of taking real responsibility for our bodies, this amazing gift we've been given, and treating it with attention and real deep respect. The goal totally shifts from dieting to a daily practice of intentional care.
And this leads us to a really powerful metaphor that kind of guides this entire approach. Thinking of your body as its own precious ecosystem.
This image just says it all, doesn't it? You can't force or starve a taro patch into being healthy. It won't work. It needs the right nutrients, it needs clean water, it needs you to pay attention to its natural cycles. If you deplete it, it withers. And our bodies, they're exactly the same. We thrive when we're nourished and rested and respected, not when we're being constantly fought and deprived.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually apply this? Let's get practical and look at two huge pillars, the timing of when we eat and the quality of what we're eating. So, ancient island cultures lived by this idea they called haehola, which today we have a fancy name for circadian rhythm eating. Our bodies aren't just these static machines, they have a clock. Think about it. In the morning, say from 6 a.m. to noon, our insulin sensitivity is peaking. It's the perfect time to refuel. But as the day winds down, our metabolism naturally slows down to get ready for rest and repair overnight. The real secret isn't just what you eat, but eating in tune with these natural rhythms.
Okay, let's tackle a big one that causes a lot of confusion: healthy fats. We hear tons about coconut oil, and look, it's great for a quick burst of energy. But for that long-term sustainable wellness we're talking about, extra virgin olive oil is just in a totally different league. And why is that? Because it sends this powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, we're full and satisfied, and that feeling lasts for hours. Plus, the research behind it is just incredible. It's about using the right tool for the right job.
And just how incredible is that research? Well, there was this landmark study called the Predimed study. It found that people who had quality olive oil every day saw a 30% reduction in cardiovascular events. 30%. That is a staggering number. It just speaks volumes about choosing the right fuel for the long haul.
But look, this journey, it isn't just about what's on your plate. It's also about who's at your table. And this brings us to the vital concept of ohana. We all know ohana means family, but in its bigger, more beautiful sense, it's your chosen community. It's your support system. And this isn't just some feel-good idea. The science on this is crystal clear. Having that social support makes you 50% more likely to succeed long-term. That is huge. The message is simple. You were never meant to do this alone. So how do you actually build this? Well, you can be really intentional about it. You start with a tiny inner circle, maybe just 1 to 3 people, for that daily support. Then you can build an active community of friends who are on a similar journey. And you can expand even wider to a network for more resources. It's all about creating these layers of support that hold you up.
And yeah, this is a really tough one. It's a super common challenge. The moment you start making positive changes, not everyone in your life is going to get it. They might not be on board right away. So what do you do then?
The Aloha approach gives us such a graceful way to handle this. Instead of getting into debates about food, just shift the conversation. Talk about the one thing they can't argue with, how you feel. I just have so much more energy.
Or, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. Focus on health, not the number on the scale, and just let your positive results do the talking. Your quiet confidence is going to be way more powerful than any argument you could have.
Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. So much of dieting is a constant fight. A fight against hunger, against cravings, against our own bodies. Aloha Wellness is an invitation to just stop fighting the current. It's asking you to take a breath, to listen, and to learn how to flow with the natural rhythms that were designed to support you all along.
And so we'll end with this thought. This whole journey, it's not about finding another set of rules to follow. It's about reconnecting with the incredible wisdom your body already has. It's about learning to trust yourself again. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.